Good morning, everyone. Well, we did it. 1 week. It's been 1 week of doing this. So it's nice to see that we're still here. But, this last couple of days have not been that easy. Yesterday was probably the worst day. It was when it really kind of started to hit me. And this morning, again, just difficulty getting up and feeling, the motivation. Because there's always a little bit of rush at the beginning. But then it starts to wear off. And then by the time we get into it a little bit more, you just don't want to do it. So happy to see we're still here. I think this is probably helping quite a bit, feel that sort of accountability to be here and do this. And so if any of you guys want to do it with me, I encourage you to do it because it really makes a difference to sort of have that external accountability. If it was just me here by myself, I don't know. There were some close calls over the last week, especially the last couple of days. And so I'm happy to be here, but it's not easy, obviously. So if you feel like you want to join in, that would be fantastic, because we can do it together. And that way, it doesn't feel like you're going through it by yourself. But yeah, we'll see, how we do today. I'm obviously not feeling 100% today still. It's hard. I just got to take it one day at a time, but it really is hard to do this. So, let's get started, and weigh in to see, and then I guess we'll take a little time and look at the past week, or maybe we can do it later today, and we can compare kind of where we started a week ago, where we are right now. And so, yay, week 1 down, and we're starting week 2, and we have, I don't even know how many weeks to go. This is lifelong. This is not just a thing that we're doing and then, we're trying to do this to change our ways, change our habits, change our relationship with food and self, and, a bunch of other stuff. I've been focusing mainly on the food, because it's the easiest to sort of track and to show you guys, but this is I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to have a more holistic approach to this by concentrating not only on food, but like I mentioned in the first video, I think it seems like so long ago, I can't even. I'm trying to focus on health in a more general way, obviously. Choosing the right foods and avoiding, not avoiding the bad foods, because that's when it gets tricky with this. When you're counting macros in that way, you could technically have certain things, Yesterday I was thinking like I could go, and have but it's not about that. It's about choosing the right foods and maybe saying no to things that could have a trigger, like an emotional trigger, that has certainly happened to me in the past, where it's almost like, like one little, it's not gonna be a problem, and then you do it, and it just sort of opens Pandora's box. So this is, what we're trying to do is, it's a more holistic and more, just focusing on health, focusing on certain health markers and habits and stuff like that. And part of that is mental health, and we'll talk about it. at some point in the near future. I'm still trying to get the hang of this. It's not easy and it's tricky to kind of do it day in and out. And developing that habit and sort of like that rhythm of figuring out like how to do this consistently. But like I said, it's helped tremendously in the sense of having that external accountability. So week 1 down, let's get started with week 2. Let's go and weigh ourselves to see where we are. Let's do this and let's hope that it will take my vascular activity. I gotta put myself right here. It is a bit finicky with trying to get me. That is me, 329.9, down, oh no, up a little bit from yesterday. This is the first time. Now we're up a little bit, which is okay. I mean, we've been, oh yay, it did the heart rate. Vascular age normal, good. Okay, so the scale had to get 5 readings in order to do the vascular age. Like I said, I don't know how accurate this is, but it's something that it offers, so I wanted to do it. We went up for the first time since we started doing this. So I think that now the real, challenge, the real weight loss begins, because the first week is, when you have as much weight to lose as I do, and you suddenly change your diet, like the first week is crazy, and it just, a lot of it you drop a lot of weight, but it's not real weight. It's more water weight than anything. So, okay, let's have some breakfast, and then a little later on we could take a look, do a little comparison of where we are and where we started a week ago. So I've been trying to convince myself to have breakfast, and I can't do it. Just in the last few minutes, I started dragging again, just feeling really lethargic and not really wanting to do anything. And I know that eating would probably help, but I just don't feel like I have the energy to make it. And so I am going to just have a coffee. It's not very nutritious, not quite the nutritious breakfast we wanted to have, but I'm going to make a coffee with a little sugar. Again, we're staying within the macros, but just going to have a coffee and try to get going with my day, see if that can help me feel a little bit better. And then we'll come back for lunch and hopefully have a nicer, more nutritious lunch. So, yeah, this is what we got today. Okay. All right. Coffee it is. See you guys in a bit. Before we have lunch, since this is exactly 1 week from when we started, let's take a quick look at how we've progressed. So, all right. So we are clearly losing weight, down 8.6 pounds in this first week. Now, again, let me just reiterate. This was the first week. I have over 150 pounds to go. So this is a bit misleading because I'm guessing most of it was water weight. But yeah, we started at, 338.5. And now we are at 329.9. That was today. Our BMI is still bad. 53.3. That's a class 3 obesity. So, but it's gone down 1.4. So that's good. We're headed in the right direction. Basal metabolic rate is slowing down. The lower the metabolic rate, like it says here, the harder to lose weight. But that's also because as I'm losing weight, my body requires less. So This is just one of the metrics, but what we want to do is change body composition. So lose fat, increase muscle, because that'll help with the basal metabolic rate. My metabolic age is still 51 years old, way higher than my actual age. So gaining muscle will help decrease. So again, we just got to put on a little bit of muscle with this. Okay, that's it for weight. Now the other thing that I wanted to do is body composition. This says losing muscle, which I don't know why it says that, but when we go into here and it just looks at this month, since we started taking the measurements with the scale, it does say losing fat. So it says we're up 1% in muscle mass, down 1% in fat mass. So I'm cool with that. Let's look at this. Visceral fat is 10.9. So we're still, it's excessive. It is going down a little bit, but it's still excessive. And here it tells us that visceral fat, we want to be basically under 5. And it goes from 1 to 20. So 1 to 5 is normal. 5 to 20 is high. And we're at 10.9. So basically 11. Could be worse, but it's definitely not good. Lean mass, it's still low, but it's trending up. Lean mass is basically everything like organs, bones, body, water, muscle mass, anything that is not fat, I guess. And then according to this, for people my age, it should be above 80%. And we are at 56.1%. So again, hence the result low. And we are underhydrated. So we are down here at 41.5%. We should be above 44% at least. That's what it says. So we're going to have to increase water intake. And that is basically it. It looks like we're headed in the right direction. But again, this is only first week. The real challenges are yet to come, because this fight is as much physical as it is mental, and maintaining is not easy. For this first week, everything has been fairly controlled. It's a fairly controlled environment. Basically, I haven't left the house, so everything is very contained and much easier to do, when everything is there and you don't have to think about it. But it becomes more of a challenge when you have to make decisions in the moment, and if you're feeling a certain way, that might not always go well. So, but that's what we're working towards. So, okay, good first week. Made some progress, especially in just doing it, even if we hadn't moved forward with any of the metrics. Having actually done it is a great first step. So I'm going to focus on that. Really couldn't bring myself to have breakfast this morning, so I've only had that one coffee. But we're going to do lunch now and see if that makes us feel a little bit better. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so let's get started with this. We're going to start with 1 egg, and I want to beat it a little bit, because just in the past, when I'm just adding the egg, they end up being kind of like chunks of egg, and I don't know, I think I'd rather a smooth texture for it. So I'm gonna go with something like this. Reminds me of my grandma, how she used to do this when I was a kid. She would beat egg whites to make frosting for cakes and stuff, and it was great. We loved it as kids, me and my siblings. Just wash my hand real quick. Okay, so we got 1 egg. We're gonna add 20 grams of the collagen peptides. Let's see, 20 grams. 5. Ooh, that's a lot. 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and tiny bit more, 20. There we go. And now we're also going to add a 20 grams of MCT powder. I'm going to have to order a new one of these guys. It's 10, 18, 19, 20. There you go. MCT powder. So again, MCT powder is basically pure fat. Then, okay, we got the egg, collagen peptides, MCT powder. We're going to add 200 grams of chicken. And this is the chicken that we made yesterday. And it's just a combination of chicken breasts and chicken thighs that were no skin, no bone, just did it in the oven. I'll do I'll show you how to make it at some point, but where is there? Let's do it like this, I guess. So we're doing 200 grams of chicken. That's 60. Whoa, do you see that? Weird. 80. 105. Chose the worst possible way to do this. 143. 182. 192. 200. Well, 201 technically, but that's good. Keep washing my hands, and I know it's obnoxious, but I don't like the feeling with this stuff on my hands. Okay. And then after the 200 grams of chicken, we're adding 30 grams of olive oil. So, let's see. That's 10, 28, 32. All right, let's just be a little more diligent and change this to 32 and change the chicken to 201. Why not? Since we're doing grams. Okay. And then the last thing to add to this lunch that provides the bulk of all the other nutrients and stuff is the Instant Cup from Huel. So we're doing the chicken Alfredo. And again, like I have mentioned throughout, I am not sponsored by Huel. I have paid for everything myself. They don't even know I'm making this, obviously. But anyway, this is sort of like instant noodles, like an instant ramen cup, but it's supposed to have, you know, all the nutrients, and it's, as they say, nutritionally complete food. So along with everything else, it's providing a bulk of it. So this is what we got, and we're just going to add this in here. All right, a little bit of water, put it on the stovetop for like 3 minutes, and it's done. And it's all mixed and cooked and hopefully delicious. I will be adding a little bit of salt and garlic powder and stuff to this. But yeah, other than that, that's it. Let's do it. This is what it looks like. Like a creamy, like a super creamy pasta dish. While it cools off a little bit, let's take a look at the macros for this meal, shall we? Okay, So this is lunch, and we have, so it's gonna be 55 grams of carbs, 95 grams of protein, and 84 grams of fat for a total of 1,360 calories. Now, breakfast, since it was only that coffee that I had, was only 66 calories, so we're at 1,426 calories for the day. And again, this is their chicken Alfredo instant cup from Huel. So it's got a little bit of pasta, but we put a ton of other stuff in there. Let's see. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I put about 1 gram salt extra and a bunch of garlic powder. And I don't know, maybe in the future I'll experiment with other things, but yeah, this is pretty easy to eat. So, yay. We good. I'm gonna eat this and then I'll see you guys a little bit later for dinner. Well, so the day got away from me. I was working and didn't look at the clock. I was kind of in the zone and just wanted to finish. But now we have a bit of a problem because it got late, almost 9 o'clock, and haven't really eaten anything. Remember, the breakfast this morning was just a cup of coffee. Not the best, but now I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling lethargic, super cravey, and it's Friday night, so I'm really trying my best here, but it's been another close call. I really don't feel like making anything, and I think that anyone who's ever done this before understands the fuck, I'm really hungry, but I really don't feel like eating any of this shit. And I certainly don't want to make anything. So I'm going to have one of these bars. One of these bars and 2 of these bars. This one is a little bit higher in protein, and these guys are a little bit higher in fat. They would give me, so 6 grams of carbs, 19 grams of protein, and 51 grams of fat for 559 calories. Now, today we're going to be severely under for carbs, and you didn't even make it through half of the carbs. We're down for protein, but surprisingly, we're meeting our fat intake. Take a look. So, only 1,985 calories. So we're not that low on calories for today, but this is all I can do to keep from eating bad stuff. So, all right, let's do it. Let's eat it and be done with it. And tomorrow's another day. Hang in there. We can do this.